Hello and welcome to a new show, College Hacks. We have Michael here.
Hey, hey. Yeah, we're excited about this. After our tremendous success with Automate or Not, we figured we have to continue to contribute to the global community.
So this new College Hacks, so we both in school at the moment, college, and we always found out that there is always some things that could be better. We're always looking to improve things, and college is one of them. So we always found a bunch of things that could be improved. So this whole new show is basically how to find some hacks to make the college lifestyle a little better, because for many people, and us included, is not that much fun. And if we can make it a little better, a little more bearable, the better. Make it a little easier and less stressful. I think it's the best. I think it's for our best. You have any?
Yeah, no, I think that what we discovered is that there's a lot of different ways of doing things in the college system, and it's a complicated system, and we didn't find any kind of reliable source of information, so we had to go out and figure out a lot of these things on our own, and it took a lot of time and a lot of trial and error and a lot of making mistakes and then finally figuring it out. So the idea behind this is to kind of skip all those steps for people who are interested and go directly to some more, as you said, some more optimized ways of doing things within the college system and not having to navigate it on your own.
Yeah, which was really hard. It's a really good point that figuring it out, it wasn't easy, and either you just don't know how to do it till this very day, or you just, the way I came into this is just I'm just starting without knowing anything, and you just learn by day by day how complicated and things you're doing wrong or work hard for no reason. And like you said, there is no guide.
Right.
Say which it was, but it wouldn't tell you that because you just make it easier.
And it's actually, I think this is a good place to add that it's actually worse in some cases, is that not only is there no guide, but in some instances we found that the guidance that you get is actually bad. So, for example, going to a college counselor, oftentimes not only are you not getting good information, you're getting misleading information. Like, you can often be told to take a course that wouldn't be good for you, or contradictory stuff, or two different counselors tell you different things. And so there's a lot of confusion, even from the people who are paid to support students on this path. So we think that there's a big need for good information about how to be a student in the best way.
Yeah, and I would like to add that it's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
If someone would give him like that tutorial, like it's probably take you an hour and give you this whole thing, it makes it much more easy and understandable instead of like this big thing. Sometimes it could be a little frightening, not frightening, but it's the right word, but it'd be a little too much at first if you think about it, but it's not as complicated.
Right. So let's move on to just a few examples of some of the things that we could cover in this domain.
Yeah, so I think a good start is in the area of professors.
Right.
So usually the way you used to, I did it at first at least, is just forget about how exactly do it, because the colleges, usually the college website, it's pretty complicated by itself because it's old systems. But how to figure out which professor. At first I didn't even thought about the fact that there is options and there is good and bad ones. So there is this ratemyprofessors.com. It's a website that, first of all, I know who introduced that to me.
I did.
You did?
And I was introduced by a student in the first semester of college. Yeah, totally.
But what we do figure out that most people, most students do not know about it.
Right.
Which is very good things. So you wanna give a quick tutorial about what's Rate My Professor is?
Yeah, I just want to add though that I think Rate My Professor specifically is pretty well known, but what we can contribute is how to use it properly.
Yeah.
So Rate My Professor is actually quite prevalent compared to some other things we might talk about that are not nearly as well known. But we've gone deep into Rate My Professor and figured out what's worth looking at, what's not worth looking at. So there's a lot we can talk about it, but I think we're going to do a separate episode for that. I just want to give another example of a domain that we can explore here is the domain of financial aid, where there's so many different options for financial aid and so many different ways to apply, and figuring out kind of the income brackets and what you're entitled to. That's trying to figure all that stuff out on your own is really confusing, and to kind of synthesize it to the basics could be extremely helpful as well. And
Yeah, because it also get misleading information.
Right.
Going back to there, like financial aid office, you think it's going to help you, it's going to tell you everything you want. This is not the case, unfortunately, and quite the opposite. If you're going to go there and ask for everything,
right.
You might get up with nothing.
Right, and the other thing is you oftentimes don't know what you're missing. So like, no one's gonna tell you that there's a scholarship out there that you can get. That's all stuff you need to figure out on your own. So you could not be getting money that you could be getting.
Definitely,
Just because
definitely.
you don't know,
always
right?
found out more and more. Oh,
Right.
shit,
Oh,
there's
more options. Yeah.
or you can get more money.
Yeah, and then one other example, and then maybe we'll wrap up, is the whole just being a student in the most typical sense of the word, of how to organize your homework and how to
Take notes.
take notes, use your calendar, all the stuff of just kind of actually studying. There's a lot to talk about there as well.
There's readings, assignments, how to handle
Right.
professors, how to handle your time.
Right.
There's a lot to explore, a lot to wait for.
Right.
So good episodes are coming.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the time you're done with this, you're gonna be a professional student.
College hacker.
Hacker in the
In the
house.
And yeah, I think that's we wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for tuning in for this awesome new show.
I'll
Hope it's
see
gonna
you
help
guys
a lot.
later.
And take care.
Cheers.